Albert Einstein once said, "I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots." Now, we may not have reached that stage quite yet, but I would say we are pretty darn close. Social media platforms have become the newest way in which members of our current digital age keep in touch with each other and stay in the loop. Communication has pretty much become seamless, the first steps to a digital utopia. Within the comfort of our own homes and without spending a dime, we are able to maintain constant contact. But so much so that there is no time to truly think, no time to dream. We seem to be shackled by a socially constructed obligation to stay hooked into each other's heads at all times. Taking a step back has become virtually impossible. This brings us to the central problem that I'll be talking about today. Due to the ease of social networking, personal, meaningful relationships have pretty much taken a nosedive. People nowadays prefer tweeting, yakking, texting, or writing on someone's wall over taking the pains to meet them in person. This new way of establishing relationships solely through social media is inhuman and illogical. The physical interaction that was once necessary for healthy relationships to thrive is being replaced by virtual interaction. According to Susan Tardanico, a Forbes magazine contributor, studies show that only 7% of communication is based on the written or verbal word. You know what the rest is? A whopping 93% is based on non-verbal body language. Though creative emoticons and voice messages and pictures, etc., try to soften the dry and emotionless world of online communication, they can never replace the real deal. Simply put, one cannot look another directly in the eyes, hold their hand, or offer an embrace online. The use of social media distances humans from what drives their very existence, being in the presence of other humans. Therefore, it is seen to be dehumanizing. With the absence of tone, body language, and environmental context, the chance for misunderstanding is much higher, rendering the communication ineffective. In fact, mediated technology can be seen from a dystopian view because it can be detrimental to effective interpersonal communication. In her book Personal Connections, Nancy Baim says, and I quote, the dystopian alternative is usually articulated as a fear that new media will take people away from their intimate relationships as they substitute mediated relationships or even media use itself for face-to-face engagement. Morozov, a dystopist who studies the social and political implications of technology, mentions the term internet centrism, the belief that internet communication has the ability to change society. Now, you might think that mass public movements such as Twitter revolutions are forming some kind of global consciousness where everyone increases their civic engagement and becomes united in friendship and everyone's happy. Not so fast. Many a time, contributing factors such as the current social or political atmosphere can fuel these movements. Morozov believes that technology can in fact be interruptive in the process of change because some societies may be manipulated by authoritarian states. He concluded that connectivity does not equal democracy and increased communication due to the fact that governments use the internet to control people, and this control undermines the potential for democracy. So the internet may be in fact impeding democracy, and it oppresses more than it liberates, as Morozov puts it. Now, another phenomenon is slacktivism, which is growing day by day, which is simply supporting an online movement by liking a page, many a time without any idea of the actual cause or people behind it. What a stark difference this is, isn't it, to protests where people took to the streets voicing their concerns and made relationships with like-minded protesters along the way. Now, I'm certainly not implying that social media is any harbinger of doom and that we should completely remove ourselves from it. Far from it. What I suggest is moderation. Sure, you can post statuses and stalk your friends on social media platforms, but it is when that becomes your sole and only form of interaction that it raises a mighty red flag. Instead of gluing your face to your friend's avatar online ranting about your horrible day, why not go out and enjoy their company in the cozy atmosphere of a coffee shop? Or how about experiment with new music, paint a picture, give your grandmother a call and tell her how much you love her? In conclusion, our connected online worlds are filled with a cacophony of voices vying for our attention, which deafens our ears to what is truly important. In such times, more than ever, we owe it to ourselves to simply unplug and discover which connections truly mean something to us.